welcome to my channel. I've been at the National Garden Scheme Open Day today with Alan and seen his garden, and it's been absolutely amazing. Alan, can you tell us how long you've been gardening here, please?
Well, we moved here in 1979,
Right.
and it was quite a small garden then, and we've sort of developed a little bit since then.
Okay. Do you have a favourite part of the garden?
I like it all. I'm trying to think. It varies, depends on the time of year.
Yes.
I mean, the daffodils are particularly nice now, and later on the climbing roses are good and things. But we've learned the sort of things we can grow here and the sort of things we can't. Things like camellias and daffodils and primroses grow well, but rhododendrons are a very short story, and they I've tried a few times, but the soil isn't very good for rhododendron.
No. Well,
and azaleas are very, very short story too.
oh dear. Well, we've all had our triumphs and some things that are not quite so well in our gardens sometimes. So it's just part of the journey, isn't it, to find out what is actually going to be good.
And as long as you're happy to grow what grows well, then
yes,
that's
right. Well, what you have is absolutely magnificent, and the different pockets that you have in the various areas of your garden are just fantastic.
That's nice of you.
So, what have you got planned, perhaps, for this year?
Oh, goodness. Well, I've spent, after those storms we had 2 or 3 weeks ago, we lost 12 big trees.
Oh dear.
It was a bit sad, so I've spent a lot of time with the cutting up with the chainsaw over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So tidying that up has been a big project. And I don't think we've got any major developments planned because it's verging on sort of lunacy anyway, because it's quite a lot too big.
Yes.
But just keeping it tidy and keeping it under control. You know. And we don't buy many new plants these days. You know, we've done all that. So
Yes.
try and look after what we've got.
Yes,
you know?
indeed. So we've known from our experience of COVID now that it's been very important for people to go out to experience gardens or to open spaces, and has that helped you through that?
Certainly, I think, getting out and, I mean, the gardens, you always get inspiration from things you see growing, and it's just nice, and you feel better when you're out in your garden doing something. And for instance, when I go to bed at night, if I've had a busy day in the garden, it's a good way of going to sleep. You go through a little bit of what you've done during the day, and that's quite relaxing. You just think whether you've had your successes or your failures in the garden that day.
Yes, that's right. Well, thank you so much for opening your garden today. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you for coming.
Very welcome, and I'm hoping that we'll come again, perhaps at a different time.
I hope you enjoyed the tea and cake.
Oh, certainly did, yes.
I thought the rhubarb cake was particularly good.
I know, we had a piece, and I thought that was pretty good, so perhaps we'll have to do a bit more walking now to walk it off. So thank you, Alan.
It's a pleasure.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications of new videos. Thank you. Alan and his wife Wilma have been at the house for more than 40 years. They plant new bulbs every year and usually new varieties, so they must have planted several thousand bulbs in that time. These are the most beautiful chicken houses I have ever seen, but apparently quite old now and will be replaced very soon. The chickens you see here are a group of speckled Sussex. Happy with their new home, they started laying almost immediately after they arrived. A couple of retired horses live in the stables, so there is always plenty of horse manure for the garden. Each autumn, perhaps 15 barrow loads are put into each section and rotivated in. This is rotivated again in the spring before planting. The vegetable garden has onions, broad beans, peas, potatoes and leeks. There is a productive asparagus bed and new for this year one bed with dahlias for colour and cutting later, which I'm sure will be a vibrant splash of colour. Alan and Wilma are not the only ones looking to eat the produce. Last year, rabbits got in and caused havoc, and mice ate the pea shoots. Wilma works hard in the main greenhouse and is very proud of the results. These wonderful exotic plants are banana, orchid, lemon tree and a vine just starting to show some green shoots. The heating is on a thermostat for those very cold nights. Thank you, Wilma and Alan, for sharing your garden with all its wonderful different spaces and plants, and for supporting the National Garden Scheme in this way.